Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
New developments tonight regarding a family with Minnesota ties whose SUV went off a cliff in California. Experts say investigators should be able to determine how fast the SUV was traveling using a black box in the vehicle that records accident data. Many in the Alexandria, Minnesota area who know the family say they still have questions as to how this happened. Reporter Zachary Lashway has the story.
Tonight, there are several questions surrounding this incident. For several years, the Hart family lived in this house here in Alexandria. Old neighbors tell me the family was a good family. The women were good mothers and the children were well behaved. The Hart family, a household of 8 with 2 moms and 6 adopted children.
Oh, heavens, yes. Very loving family.
The kids, they were always well dressed, and the girls were well dressed.
Today, both mothers, Jennifer and Sarah Hart, and their 6 children, all believed dead after the SUV they were traveling in went off a cliff in Northern California on Monday.
Oh, so sad. Sad.
Washington authorities confirm Child Protective Services opened an investigation on March 23rd, identifying the Hart children as, quote, potential victims of alleged abuse.
The parents were strict with the kids, and the kids were very polite.
Washington authorities say CPS visited the family's home in Woodland last week because of reports the children weren't being fed. Neighbors say Devontae Hart, seen here in this photograph, hugging a Portland police officer during a Black Lives Matter demonstration in 2014, would sneak next door daily to ask for food. They say the child alleged his mothers weren't feeding him or his siblings, nor were they allowing them to go outside. But neighbors from their time in Alexandria recall a very different family life.
I'd go over there and do work in their house, and all 6 kids would be sitting at the table, and they'd all be eating.
After recent days of these accusations, one neighbor in Woodland says that's when she called CPS. But when social workers arrived, the family allegedly refused to answer the door, and hours later, neighbors say they were gone and not seen again.
It's just heartbreaking.
All 6 children were said to be homeschooled. The cause of the crash remains under investigation, but investigators say they did not find skid marks or brake marks leading up to that cliff. They did say the family left behind belongings, including some pets, inside their home. In Alexandria, I'm Zach Lajoie, KARE 11 News.
Investigators are obtaining a search warrant to go through that home, the home of the family, which is located in Washington State. They're looking for anything that could explain why they may have driven off the cliff. Any grass that had been peeking out on your lawn might soon be covered with snow. It's starting to happen in the western part of the state. This is the Valley Skycam in Minot. That city is under a travel alert because of snow and ice and hazardous driving conditions. Other cities in northwestern North Dakota that are under the gun are Williston, Bottineau, Towner, and Watford City. So let's find out the path of this storm and when it's expected to hit the rest of the state. Hutch?
All right, thanks so much, Andrea. As we take a look at where the snow is falling, central North Dakota getting some of the heaviest bands right now, and it's quick hitting snow. This is a North Dakota Department of Transportation camera at the Lake Sakakawea area, the Garrison Dam area, and that is accumulating snow on area roads and poor visibility. This is not coming with a ton of wind, but it's certainly put a coating on area roads. Where you see the deep blues and the white colors, some heavier bands of snow in Sheridan, just north of the Bismarck, heading towards the Maddock area. This is all sliding to the south and east. So if you're north and east of Devil's Lake to Grand Forks and Mayville, very little snow there. But Fargo and southeast North Dakota and Stutsman County into northeast South Dakota, a chance for some accumulating snow overnight. We have a winter weather advisory for this tonight. It'll be exiting the area as we start our day. And then this behind me is a winter storm watch for most of the area as we go into the close of our day Friday and into Saturday. I'll have details on even more snow and wind combining to create tricky travel conditions as we approach the weekend.
Okay, thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
It's just exciting to finally see some new businesses that are interested in 400 block and north, just to keep the vibrancy all up and down Broadway.
Changes are coming to downtown Fargo. Several businesses are moving farther north along Broadway. Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall spoke to one of those businesses and local leaders about how this will impact the community.
Everybody wants good thing to happen, right? But sometimes, like when bad things happen, you use it as, the next step that you need to take and to make it better.
The Drunken Noodle, Slurp Ramen, and Wasabi are downtown favorites, but the restaurants are changing locations after sales dropped by about 20%. That's following one of our restaurant report cards last year when a customer said a cockroach crawled on her plate. The owner says the new locations mean a fresh start.
I love this location, the feel of, downtown historic building, but then, I think we need some major upgrade too.
There are risks too, like moving farther away from NDSU foot traffic and hungry students.
People are scared to change, and, when we do good in one location, to move to another location, there's still a lot of unknown factors.
But students tell me they'll follow the food.
It's good food, so, as long as they keep the food.
Yeah, we'll follow the stores wherever they go.
The businesses aren't the only ones who benefit from the moves. Downtown leaders say so will the neighborhood.
Down in that 400 block and north, there are some concerns in regards to some inappropriate behavior, and there's some vacancies over there in the buildings. So I think it's great to see that businesses are interested in moving there. So that shows me there's a lot of potential in that area. And if they offer the right service and goods, people will find them.
I have some new idea about the food and about the concept of the restaurant that I think it's going to serve Fargo well.
In Fargo, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
The coffee shop next door to Drunken Noodle, Young Blood Coffee, is also moving. Owners say they're moving into Roberts Commons near the downtown Federal Building for more space.
I attempted suicide at my former school, and that was kind of like I was at rock bottom.
After being bullied for 10 years, 17-year-old Kennedy Jovic had enough. She tried to kill herself, not once, but 6 times. And now she's speaking to other people her age who might be going through the same thing. Kennedy has been through a lot in her life, and for a while she was battling several undiagnosed mental illnesses. But then she got help and started talking to students at her school about her journey.
I talked to them about my experiences and how it affected me, how it affected others, how I nearly lost some very important people to me, and just how if they are struggling that they can speak up about it, because I was silenced for 10 years.
Kennedy has shared her story with 2 schools so far, and she plans to keep doing it in the future. The name of her campaign is Unsilenced. Later on Valley News Live at 10, find out how social media plays a role in making sure you don't come home with stomach problems after dining out. But first, hear about some college kids who are raking in the cash and your dog's droppings.